Have you ever looked at yourself in the middle of a relationship and thought, I do not recognize who I have become? Have you ever wondered why life can make you feel calm one moment and completely out of control the next? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about why some people feel crazy in relationships, and we are going to treat it with compassion and clarity instead of shame. 2 ideas will guide everything. First, feeling crazy is often not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that your nervous system is overwhelmed by uncertainty, fear, and unresolved attachment patterns. Second, the way out is not to become emotional, but to become awake, meaning you learn to recognize the pattern, regulate your body, speak truth with boundaries, and choose relationships that grow peace instead of addiction. Let me tell you a story, because once you can see the pattern inside a story, you can start seeing it inside your own life without judging yourself. Imagine a person named Talia. Not a real name, but a real pattern. Talia is thoughtful and kind. Talia has friends who describe her as stable. At work, she is organized. In her family, she is the one who stays calm during stress. Talia has always believed she is not the dramatic type. Then Talia meets someone named Ryan. Ryan is charming and intense. Ryan is also inconsistent. On some days, Ryan is warm, affectionate, and full of future talk. On other days, Ryan is distant, distracted, and emotionally unavailable. Ryan does not always do this on purpose. Sometimes Ryan is overwhelmed. Sometimes Ryan is avoidant. Sometimes Ryan is simply immature. But the result is the same. Talia starts feeling a strange new kind of anxiety. Her heart races when Ryan takes too long to reply. Her mind spins when Ryan changes tone. She starts checking her phone constantly. She starts rereading old messages. She starts searching for hidden meaning in small details. She starts imagining worst-case scenarios. She starts asking questions she never used to ask. Do you still like me? Are we okay? Are you talking to someone else? Where is this going? And then Talia catches herself. She thinks, why am I acting like this? Why do I feel crazy? This is where many people make a mistake. They assume the feeling means they are weak or unstable. They shame themselves. They try to suppress their emotion. They try to act cool. They pretend they do not care. But inside, the storm grows. So what is actually happening? The first thing to understand is that feeling crazy in relationships often comes from a mismatch between what your body senses or what your mind tries to explain. Your body senses uncertainty as danger. Your mind tries to restore safety by seeking control. Control looks like overthinking, checking, analyzing, asking for reassurance, chasing answers, replaying conversations, and building stories that predict the outcome. The mind is not trying to torture you. The mind is trying to protect you. But when protection becomes obsession, it creates suffering. Talia does not know this yet. She only knows she feels like she is losing herself. One night, Ryan cancels plans last minute with a vague excuse. Talia feels something hot rise in her chest. She becomes sharp. She sends a long message. Then she regrets it and sends another message to soften. Then she feels embarrassed and sends a third message trying to explain. Then she feels angry again and deletes messages and rewrites them. Her whole mood depends on whether Ryan replies. This is a key marker of the crazy feeling. Your inner weather starts depending on someone else's behavior. Your peace becomes outsourced. When peace is outsourced, you become reactive. When you become reactive, you start acting in ways that do not match your values. Then you shame yourself. Shame creates more anxiety. Anxiety creates more chasing. The loop tightens. Now let us look at where this loop often begins. Many people who feel crazy in relationships are not actually unstable. They are often sensitive. They often care deeply. They often have a history of being responsible. They often learned to keep emotions under control in childhood. Then they meet a relationship dynamic that triggers an old wound. The old wound might be abandonment fear. The fear that people leave without warning. The old wound might be inconsistency. The fear that love is unpredictable. The old wound might be conditional approval. The fear that you must perform to be chosen. The old wound might be betrayal. The fear that trust is naive. The old wound might be invisibility, the fear that your needs do not matter. When the relationship touches that wound, your nervous system goes into survival mode. Survival mode is not wise. Survival mode is urgent. Survival mode wants immediate relief. That is why you can feel like a different person in love. It is not your character disappearing. It is your nervous system driving. Now let us return to Talia. Talia tries to talk to Ryan calmly. She says, I feel anxious when plans change and when communication is inconsistent. I need clarity and consistency. Ryan responds defensively. Ryan says you are overreacting. Ryan says you are too intense. Ryan says you should trust me. Ryan says you are making problem. Talia hears those words and feels even more unstable. Because now she is not only anxious, she is also doubting her own reality. She thinks maybe I am the problem. Maybe I am too much. Maybe I am crazy. This is the second major engine of the crazy feeling. Gaslighting does not have to be dramatic to be damaging. Sometimes it is subtle. When your feelings are repeatedly dismissed, you start distrusting yourself. When you distrust yourself, you become more desperate for external validation. When you become more desperate, you chase harder. Then the other person feels pressured and distances. The loop continues. Now here is the hard truth. Sometimes you feel crazy in relationships because the relationship environment is unstable. If someone is inconsistent, your nervous system may respond with hypervigilance. Hypervigilance looks like scanning for signs of distance. It looks like interpreting silence as threat. It looks like needing reassurance constantly. So one important question is this. Are you feeling crazy because you are in a pattern inside yourself, or because you are in a relationship that keeps triggering the pattern? Often it is both. An unstable relationship triggers a vulnerable attachment system. A vulnerable attachment system amplifies the instability. The combination feels like insanity. The way out begins with honesty, not only about the other person, about the pattern. Talia begins journaling and notices something. She does not feel crazy with friends. She does not feel crazy at work. She does not feel crazy alone on a normal day. She feels crazy specifically when she is uncertain about Ryan's availability. That tells her something important. The trigger is uncertainty. Then she notices another thing. The moments she feels most calm are not the moments the relationship is healthiest. The moments she feels calm are the moments Ryan gives her a burst of attention after a period of distance. That calm is relief. Relief is the end of panic. Relief feels like love because it is intense. This is how people become addicted to unstable relationships. The nervous system starts craving relief. The relationship becomes a cycle of withdrawal and reunion. The reunion feels powerful. The pain feels unbearable. The whole bond becomes addictive. Addiction is not always substances. Addiction can be emotional cycles. And emotional addiction can feel like destiny because it is intense. Now here is where wisdom comes in. Wisdom says intensity is not the same as intimacy. Intimacy is stable presence. Intimacy is honest communication. Intimacy is repair after conflict. Intimacy is mutual effort. Intimacy is respect. Intensity can be chemistry plus uncertainty. Intensity can be trauma activation. Intensity can be unresolved fear. So the question is not, do I feel strongly? The question is, do we build trust over time? Talia decides to test the relationship with one simple principle. She will stop chasing, not as punishment, as practice. When Ryan becomes distant, she will not send 10 messages. She will send one clear message and then return to her life. She will regulate her body. She will call a friend. She will take a walk. She will eat. She will sleep. She will pray. She will do the things she used to do before her peace became dependent on Ryan. At first this feels impossible. Her body wants to chase. Her mind wants to fix. Her fear wants certainty. But she stays. And she discovers something powerful. The craving to chase rises like a wave and then falls. The wave feels deadly, but it passes. She realizes she can survive discomfort without obeying it. This is a spiritual moment, because it means she is no longer a slave to fear. Then Ryan returns with a sweet message. Old Talia would have melted and forgotten the pain. New Talia asks a question. What do you want with me? And what are you willing to build consistently? Ryan avoids the question. Ryan says, why are you making it serious? Ryan says, just relax. Ryan says, do not pressure me. Talia feels the truth. Ryan wants the comfort of her love without the responsibility of mutuality. This is the moment where many people feel crazy because they keep trying to get a clear answer from someone who benefits from ambiguity. So Talia chooses clarity. She says, I care about you. I want something consistent. If you want that too, we can build it. If you do not, I will step back. Ryan calls her dramatic. Ryan calls her controlling. Ryan says she is overreacting. Talia feels pain, but she also feels strength. This is another spiritual lesson. People who benefit from your lack of boundaries will call your boundaries the problem. So how do you stop feeling crazy in relationships? First, regulate the body. If your body is flooded, your mind cannot be wise. Breathe slowly. Feel your feet. Drink water. Move your body. Sleep. Eat. Calm the nervous system. This is not cosmetic. This is foundational. Second, name the pattern. Are you chasing reassurance? Are you scanning for danger? Are you interpreting silence as threat? Are you trying to control outcome? Naming breaks the spell. Third, separate feeling from instruction. You can feel longing and still choose not to chase. You can feel fear and still choose to wait. You can feel love and still choose boundaries. Fourth, evaluate the relationship environment. Are you being respected? Are your needs dismissed? Are promises kept? Is there repair? Is there consistency? Does the relationship build peace over time, or does it build anxiety? Fifth, practice self-respect. Self-respect is not arrogance. Self-respect is treating your heart like it matters. Self-respect means you do not beg for basic presence. It means you speak truth calmly. It means you walk away from repeated disrespect. Now let us go deeper into why the crazy feeling can feel so personal. Because it often triggers shame. Talia feels ashamed that she begged. She feels ashamed that she spiraled. She feels ashamed that she lost control. She tells herself she is weak. But shame is not a teacher that heals. Shame is a teacher that hurts. Compassion is the teacher that heals. Compassion says you were trying to protect yourself. Compassion says your nervous system was activated. Compassion says you can learn new skills. Compassion says you are not your reaction. You are the one who can become aware of the reaction and choose differently next time. This is the balance of compassion and accountability. Compassion without accountability becomes repetition. Accountability without compassion becomes self-hatred. Together they become growth. Now let us bring in the karmic perspective in a practical way. Karma is momentum. If you have a pattern of choosing emotionally unavailable partners and then chasing them, your nervous system has momentum. That momentum will repeat until you change the choice. The karmic lesson might be boundaries. The karmic lesson might be self-worth. The karmic lesson might be learning to tolerate calm love. The karmic lesson might be healing fear of abandonment. The karmic lesson might be learning to ask for what you need early and walk away when it is not met. When you learn the lesson, the same type of relationship stops appearing, or it appears and you do not get hooked. That is karma clearing in real time. Talia eventually steps away from Ryan. She grieves. She cries. She feels lonely. But she also feels something she has not felt in months. She feels calm. At first, calm feels empty because her nervous system was used to adrenaline. Then calm becomes peace. Peace becomes self-respect. Self-respect becomes a new foundation. Months later, Talia meets someone new named Owen. Owen is not dramatic. Owen is consistent. Owen communicates. Owen does not disappear when emotions appear. Owen can have conflict and repair. Owen can say I am sorry without turning it into humiliation. Owen can say I need space and then return. Owen makes love feel breathable. At first, Talia feels suspicious. Calm feels unfamiliar. She wonders if she is bored. Then she realizes something. She is not bored. She is safe. Safety is what her nervous system always wanted. This is the final truth. Many people who feel crazy in relationships are not craving drama. They are craving safety. They just learned to chase safety in the wrong way. So if you want to stop feeling crazy, do not chase the person who triggers your chaos. Chase the skills that create your peace. Learn regulation. Learn boundaries. Learn discernment. Learn repair. Learn to choose consistency. Now let us close with a scene that carries the whole message. One evening, Talia sits alone with a cup of tea. She remembers Ryan. She feels a small ache, but she does not spiral. She does not reach for her phone. She breathes and says, "I can miss you and still choose peace." That sentence is awakening. Because awakening is not about never feeling. Awakening is about not being controlled by feeling. Awakening is choosing wisdom and compassion again and again until the old pattern loses its power. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Share your story in the comments in your own words. Have you ever felt crazy in a relationship? What triggered it? What boundary helped you? What practice helped you calm your nervous system? Your experience might help someone else feel less alone and more awake. If you want more long-form talks about love patterns, karma, wisdom, compassion, and real healing, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment so this community can keep growing. And if you want to support the work even more, consider joining as a member. Until next time, keep choosing clarity over obsession, keep choosing compassion with boundaries, and remember that you are not crazy. You are learning how to come home to yourself.